Hey, Michael Church, Crawl Space Ninja. We got a great Ask a Ninja from Melinda in Fairburn, Georgia. And she has wet walls, high humidity, and mold, but the crawl space is dry. And someone is telling her that she needs to put in a sump pump. What I mean by dry is there's no standing water. And the contractor down there is telling her she needs to install a sump pump. So what should she do to address the high humidity, wet walls, and mold? Stay tuned. So if you're new to Crawl Space Ninja, we talk about everything related to crawl space encapsulation, indoor air quality, basement waterproofing. We hope you'll subscribe, ring that notifications bell, and also follow us on Facebook. Okay, Melinda, I'm gonna go ahead and read your question because it's got some interesting facts in here that you put. I had mold, high humidity, wet walls in my crawl space, but no standing water. My vapor barrier was put in improperly. The mold has been cleaned and the vapor barrier is now properly installed. My house is 60 years old and sits on a slight slope where the rain water hits the back of the house. I have been approached about installing a sump pump, but I am wondering if I really need it. If I encapsulate it and get a crawl space dehumidifier, will that help the moisture and humidity? Thanks. Well, Melinda, let's talk about a couple things here. Okay, so you don't have standing water, but you have a hill that's hitting the back of your house that's making the foundation wall wet. One of the things I would recommend you do on the outside of the house is put a French drain or a curtain drain to catch that standing water, the surface water, as it rolls down that hill and tries to enter into your crawl space. Remember, the water wants to go in that foundation wall. Now, apparently for some reason it hasn't made it in yet, but given enough time, it could wear down the soil or create some mortar joint openings or things like that that will start to flood the crawl space. So you want to address that first. Get a French drain installed, or some places of the country they call it a curtain drain. Make sure your downspouts are extended around the sides of the house to where the water flows downhill. You want to get all that roof water away from that back side of the house as well if your downspouts are pouring right there at the back of the house. So that would be the first thing to do. Address that standing water so that it does not in the future have an opportunity to make its way into the crawl space. One of the other things you said is the vapor barrier was installed improperly and you had mold. They installed the vapor barrier properly, but they removed the mold. I'm wondering, did they dehumidify before removing the mold? Because mold protocols require that you lower humidity, you dry the wood, then you remove the mold and then apply some form of disinfectant on the wood and perhaps a protectant to keep it from coming back. So if your company did not follow those steps to address the mold, then that means the wood is still wet, the humidity is still high, and there's a good chance the mold could return. So Melinda, make sure you go down there, you get somebody down there every once in a while to make sure that mold's not returning, and you may want to invest in a moisture meter to see what the moisture level of the wood is, along with a good relative humidity reader, and we've got some in our link down below that you can check out as well. So your question is, you have someone telling you that you need to install a sump pump. Remember, code says that if the dirt in the crawl space is lower than the dirt outside, then a full perimeter trench inside the crawl space is needed in order to address standing water, okay? If there's evidence of standing water inside your crawl space, your wet foundation wall is evidence of standing water. So this contractor is actually telling you the right thing if they're also recommending a perimeter trench to address that water as it comes in. A sump pump alone, depending on how long your foundation wall is, may not be enough. You may need to do some form of French drain on the inside of the crawl space as well. Then encapsulate over that, then install your dehumidifier, okay? But I wouldn't do the encapsulation and the dehumidification until you make sure that mold has been properly addressed. So go in there, check the mold. If you don't have any visible mold growth, encapsulate, dehumidify, okay? French drain on the outside, downspouts on the outside. Make sure that you check the moisture level of the wood, then install your French drain along that back wall minimum, but I would prefer a full perimeter trench with a sump pump. Then encapsulate, then install your dehumidifier. That should make your crawl space healthy for years to come. I'm Michael Church. Hope you like this video down below. Hope you make it a happy, blessed day. We'll see you later.